Welcome to Compuestos Podcast. My name is Andres Garza, and here we interview great personalities to learn about them and their life lessons. Today, we have our first podcast on English with Nas Daily, a huge content creator and entrepreneur with more than 40 million followers on social media. Nas is also founder of Nas.io, a platform that helps entrepreneurs build communities and monetize them. Today we talk about Nas' journey as a content creator, his shift to entrepreneurship, the future of education, and how we can take advantage of this new economy. Hope you enjoyed. Hello everyone, welcome to Compuestos Podcast. Here is the first podcast in English, and today we have the honor to have Nas.io with us.
The first. Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much for being with me right now, and I'm pretty honored. But
Honor's all mine.
Tell me what you're doing here in Mexico, and in my city, Monterrey. My city, your city, of course.
So what am I doing in Monterrey? So I have this root canal and I needed a dentist.
Okay.
So I said, let me go to Mexico and because you need to be in one place for 10 days.
Why 10 days?
Sorry?
Why 10 days?
Because it takes time to okay. You had to visit the dentist multiple times, but that's the personal reason.
Yeah.
The professional reason is we have a lot of customers in Monterrey for Nas.io, and I like to come here and meet them, talk to them, and help them build businesses.
You have 2 meetings, right? One
Yes.
today, one tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, I'm so excited you to be here. Thank you so much for your time. But I want to start because I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen your face here in Mexico and all the world. But for those who don't, or for those who has seen it but doesn't really know who you are, what you do,
Yeah.
please explain yourself.
So my name is Nuseir. I built a channel called Nas Daily, and I just specialize in making very short videos, 1-minute videos about interesting things around the world. And I just go around the world, make very short videos. And I was a creator for the first 8 years. And now for the next 8 years, I help people build businesses, become entrepreneurs. So build 1-minute businesses. So I'm the 1-minute guy.
Okay,
That's
nice.
it. 1-minute content, 1-minute business.
I actually have seen your content a lot when I was a kid, because you made it this 8 years ago, right? You started.
Yeah, I started 8 years ago.
Yeah, well, I was a kid by then.
You were what, 17?
Yeah, 17.
How was your English back then?
I was a very different person than I am right now. But I was growing, and I believe that everything happens for a reason, and that's why we're here.
And you became a creator. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's kind of fun, because I became a creator because I want to share the knowledge I have learned on my school. Because people in Mexico, a lot of people here doesn't know how to invest, how to manage their money, and I learned all that in school, and I want to teach them for free, and I do.
That's really cool. Did you expect to become a creator?
No, I just expect to make a point for myself. Like, I do really want to prove to myself that I can do something else than just working on a company I don't like, in a work I hate. And I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure I am worth more, but I have nothing to prove it. So
Yeah.
I have to make something. And I saw an opportunity on TikTok, people creating content about finance.
Yes.
I started over there.
I love that. So you saw the loophole, right? It's like lots of demand for content, not enough supply of content. So
Actually, that's kind of weird, because I see a loophole of value. I believe a lot of people were not explaining the things
yes,
very accurate. But how do you start? I mean, this is my journey, but your journey, how do you start?
very similar. I was an engineer at PayPal, and then I saw the opportunity. There's lots of demand for videos on Facebook, and no one was making Facebook videos. So I said, let me go make content. And then I saw all these travel videos, and they were so boring. They were so long, 20 minutes long. I just didn't have time for 20 minutes. So I said, let me go make 1-minute videos about the world.
And the kind of interesting thing is that in that time, 1 minute wasn't very popular.
It's too short.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, that's not enough. That's not enough. I said, no, this is it. That's all you need to know. 1 minute.
Why 1 minute?
No one has the attention anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just, sometimes it's like everything in life can be boiled down to 1 minute. Things don't need to be complicated in life. It takes me 1 minute to get ready. How? I just wear the same t-shirt for the last 8 years.
Actually, I have in my questions, why do you always wear the same t-shirt?
Because it takes me 1 minute. It's the simplest thing in the world. Albert Einstein said something so cool. He said, make everything as simple as possible, but no simpler. And that's it. Just like simplify life, simplify content, simplify business, and you have a great life.
Nice. Actually, I want to know more about yourself.
Yes.
About how do you manage your time and all this stuff? Because you're starting as a creator. Now you're going to start as a creator, but an entrepreneur. How hard is that? Because there are two different roles, kind of the same, but not the same, because you have to be the camera guy, but also the management and the CEO and all this stuff.
So the best way to explain a creator versus an entrepreneur is through a pyramid. A creator is an upside down pyramid, which means you are the center of it. If you die, the whole pyramid dies. That's what a creator is. Everything is about you being alive. An entrepreneur is a normal pyramid like this, where you're at the top, but if you die, the pyramid stays standing. So a creator is, you are the engine of everything. If you get sick, everything stops. An entrepreneur is, you work with others to build something bigger than you. So everybody starts as a creator, but eventually you gotta jump to become an entrepreneur.
Why do you make that jump? I mean, because you were doing very good as a creator. A lot of people stay there,
I love being a creator so much, but I could not imagine myself 50 years old running around Indonesia making 1 minute videos.
Sure.
It's too hard. It's physically hard. It's mentally hard. I had to make the jump. If you want to go far, you go with others. That's it. If you want to go fast, you go alone, right? But if you want to go far, you have to go with others. That's why I think in reality, everybody should become a creator first, but then everybody should become an entrepreneur second.
Sure. And I do believe it's more useful to become a company because you can do a lot more things than you can do by yourself alone. But it's kind of hard to make that jump, not only because, well, for me, for example, it's like I'm actually working and I don't have time to make money. Then John D. Rockefeller said that quote, the man who works all day doesn't have time to make money. So, I mean, you are kind of...
Oh, that's interesting. What is that quote? That's a cool quote.
John D. Rockefeller,
okay.
He told like, the man who works all day doesn't have time to make money because he's working all day and money is making by thinking and creating systems.
That is so
true. And if you're
true.
working all day, you don't have time for that. So how do you make that jump? I mean, it was super fast. It was slightly because you have to make videos, but you also have to create the company and do the both. And how do you manage this?
It is so freaking hard. It is so hard to make the jump. Because it's like you're like 1 foot as a creator and then 1 foot as an entrepreneur. It's hard to, there's no like clear thing. I made the jump yesterday. Yesterday I went to hike, what is it called? Chipinque
Cerro de la Silla. Cerro de la Silla.
Cerro de la Silla, yeah. I went to hike and on the top of the mountain I said, I am done. I am done with being a creator. Today is my first day as an entrepreneur.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, all I care about is helping people become entrepreneurs. That's it. Look, how do you do it? You start small. You hire one person, an assistant. Then you hire a video editor. Then you buy back your time. Everybody in the world needs to buy back their time. You said the person who works all the time doesn't have time to make money. When you buy back your time, now you have free time to think about strategy. What do I do? What do I build? And so, first of all, buy back your time, and you have 10 people. So you are buying back your time. And then next is, how do I create products that don't depend on my face? That's the question. How do I build products that are useful for the world? And then you sell them. That's it. You're an entrepreneur.
I mean, but you should have like a lot of opportunity cost by not working on the creator machine and starting the new machine. Like, for example, you make, I'm gonna lie and tell something like, for example, $1 per second in the creator machine, and you make $0 per hour in the
Exactly.
entrepreneurship. So you had to make the change. It's like starting a business while you're in a work, in a company.
So I'll give you something, right? Like with an entrepreneur, I work for a full month. I used to work for a full month to make $100,000 profit. As a creator, I get one brand deal, $100,000 in one day. So it's like, okay, this profit margin is so good versus an entrepreneur. What people don't tell you is that a creator, you kind of like the revenue is tied to your time. So there's a max. So let's say you go up, but then there's a max revenue you can make. With an entrepreneur, revenue is slow, but then it goes like insane. So you gotta believe that one day this will happen. You gotta believe.
And how do you manage your agenda? For example, right now you have a lot of things going on. How do you, at what time you wake up? I mean, it's super popular right now.
The morning routine.
The morning routine. So I got to use it for make the podcast.
My morning routine. I wake up at 5 a.m. every day, and I work from 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. with the Singapore office. I work on just Nas.io. So we're building technology. So a technology company called Nas.io. It basically helps everybody become a 1-minute business owner. In 1 minute, you can own a business and become an entrepreneur. And so I work on that with product, marketing, engineering, sales, all that stuff. And then from 12 to 5, I work with my New York office on Nas Daily stuff, on content, on brands, on hiring, firing, all that stuff. 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., I hang out with my girlfriend. 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., I'm asleep.
Wow.
That's it.
Super productive. I mean, like on the morning, you're a kind of person and on the late, you're another kind of person because you manage two different.
I have three different lives. A life in Asia, a life in America, and a life with my girlfriend.
I have two questions over that. Number one, how do you stay productive? Like you don't lose the focus and all the stuff, and how to avoid burnout? Because I do believe like with that routine, a lot of people will get tired super fast, because I mean, I have read a lot about burnout, but I want to know your opinion.
I don't believe in burnout.
Okay.
I don't believe in burnout. Burnout basically means I don't love what I'm doing. That's it.
Okay.
If you love what you do, you don't burn out. Have you ever burned out from hanging out with your kids? Like, have you ever burned out from having fun? Like, the concept of burnout is only when things are just not enjoyable. Now, my life is not always enjoyable, but for 80% of the time, it is enjoyable. So I have been working almost every day for the last 8 years. I just had a forced break last 3 days, but every day for the last 8 years, it's been fun. And I think you can relate, right? For the last 5 years, you seem to like working.
Yeah, I like working. I mean, I do believe some tasks are difficult because you don't see like the return so easy. Because in the creator economy, I do believe you kind of mess up your brain, like believing like everything is going to be fast. Like you make a video and you expect fast results because you always have fast results. But when you try something new, things change.
Oh my God, yes.
And that makes a sensation of stress or you are not in control. And
yes.
That kind of mess up with you.
You have that feeling too?
Yeah.
You're like sitting there waiting for things to happen.
I don't wait. I act.
You act, like you act, but you're like, there's one thing I learned. So when I was a creator, it took me 2 minutes to know if a video is good or bad. I upload the video and I look at how many likes after 2 minutes. And that's when you know if it's good or bad.
Yeah.
When you're an entrepreneur, it takes 2 years to know if an idea is good or bad. So this Nas.io company that I'm building, I've been waiting for 2 years to know if this is a good idea or a bad idea.
And how do you prove if an idea is good if you're being an entrepreneur? I mean, what makes you think like this is good?
So when you're a creator, how do you know that your video is good? Somebody texts you, says, I like this. You just need one person to say, I like it. But when you're an entrepreneur, instead of a viewer, it's a customer. So I just have one customer text me saying, I need this. Not I like this. I need this. So a video, I like this. In a entrepreneurship, I need this. And if they say I need this and I cannot live without it, that's it. Because if you find one person that needs it, you can find a million.
Wow. That's a pretty nice quote. I like it.
Yeah.
You make $1, you can make $1 million.
100%. You know, when I started Nas Daily, I one guy in Kenya, I started Nas Daily in Kenya, and he messaged me. He said, "I like your video." That was day 5. I was like, "Oh my God, this Kenyan journalist likes my video. I think I can find 100 million people like him." And so far, we found 70 million people like him.
Wow. I mean, and you has made everything like for 1 minute videos. Like for example, in the beginning, right now you're thinking about 1 minute business. Tell me more about that.
So when I started 1 minute videos, everybody said, "This is too hard. You need more time to explain." And I was like, no.
How many times you take to make the video? If it was 1 minute long, how much time do you take to plan and execute?
10 to 14 hours.
Wow. That's what a lot of people don't see.
Yes. So it was still hard, but you can make it in one day. But at the beginning, everybody said, no, videos should be more complicated. No, it's actually simple. Just summarize everything to 1 minute and then you have a good video. Now, everybody says, starting my business is hard. Becoming an entrepreneur is hard. And I'm here to tell you, no, right now, it's never been easier to start and own your business because of AI and technology and social media. It's become 10 times easier to create a product and to market it and to get customers and make money online. And because of that, now we can build a business in 1 minute. That's the whole point of Nas.io platform.
Nice. And how do you achieve it? Like, what would you tell them or how will you help them?
It's just crazy. How do you build a business in 1 minute? So you sign up to Nas.io, then we connect to your Instagram. Then AI reads all your content and suggests 10 different products that you can sell, and it creates them. So now in 1 second, you have 10 products that are ready to sell, like challenges, memberships, events, courses, whatever. Then with AI, we create the ads. So okay, you have this product we created, let's make an ad for it. And then with AI, we run the ad.
Okay.
So now in 1 minute, you have a product, a marketing ad, and sales all in 1 minute.
Wow. I'm pretty excited about that. And I want to tell you more, but I want to have first your views on education right now. I mean, what do you believe about the education system and any other ways of learning right now?
So we talked about this earlier, right? Which is everybody was doing courses. And I think if there's one thing I want to tell the world is be careful of courses. Be careful of courses because courses are dead in the water. Right? In the past, you buy a video file and you watch it and you learn. In the future, you talk to an AI and you learn from it. And it helps you learn, right? Super customized education. Not one box fits everybody. And so I think the future of education is fully 100% customized.
Wow.
Which means we cannot sell courses anymore.
And what do you sell if you cannot set education?
So if courses are dead, content becomes free because right now everything on YouTube is free, images are free, AI makes content for free.
Knowledge is free right now.
Knowledge is free. What is not free? Humans. It costs humans. You are scarce. To hang out with you, I would pay money to hang out with you because there's only one of you in the world. You're like a very rare NFT. So I think humans, community, friends, friendships, clubs, events, that's gonna be really, really big.
Yeah, because actually I do believe like knowledge is becoming kind of a commodity. Like everybody will have knowledge in their hands.
Yes.
Because technology is a great equalizer. A lot of people
Yes.
are able to have the same information. You, me, any guy seeing the podcast have almost the same information available at their hands.
Yes.
They just need to know how to ask right now.
Yeah.
But the community or the people that guide you, that we with you in the process, are something that are irreplaceable in
Exactly.
today's world.
So if you're selling something, You should not be selling content. You should be selling community. So my name is Andres, and I'm selling you a community of 25-year-old investors in Mexico, or a community of millionaires only. You can only join this community if you have $1 million pesos or more. Okay? Now that's a community I want to be part of. For example, I studied at Harvard. Do you think Harvard has any better education than any other university? No, it's the same. It's the same physics, it's the same math, it's the same everything. Why is Harvard expensive? Harvard is expensive not because of the education, it's because of the students. You pay more to go and be friends with Harvard students. What I'm trying to say is community is the only thing worth paying for, because those Harvard students help you become more successful in the future.
And how do you create a community that is useful for the people? Because, I mean, actually I got you with the example, because here in Mexico and almost in every city exists car communities. Like if you have Porsche, you can join the club. And it's something like that, because it's kind of a filter, like everybody who loves the sport or loves the cars want to join with us, and you can make business partners over there.
Exactly.
But here, for example, I mean, because I do believe two things, like networking. I hate that word because some people like just want to say, how do I network? And I believe like the best way to do networking is being of value, because if you bring value to the table, you can help people and they can be interested in you because you have something to offer. But how do people, for example, in today's world can make communities that matter? Because if this is the new education of the new accompaniments we want to build in this world, how do people can create their own communities, or the communities that people want to be in? How do I want to be in a community, for example?
So I think there's, like, if I now create a WhatsApp group and I say everybody in this WhatsApp group has 1 million followers and above.
Okay.
Do you want to be part of this WhatsApp group?
Sure.
Why?
Because I can share and mastermind with people.
Exactly. So you can add something and you can give back something. How much are you willing to pay for that group?
I don't know, but maybe a lot of money.
A lot of money, right?
Because I can really return my investment very fast.
Very fast. So really, community is just another word for filter. You just want to filter the population of the world. If I say I have a filter of 50,000 women in Mexico, this filter now, this is a very important group of people for a makeup brand, right? So in a way, so how many followers do you have total?
I don't count, but maybe more than 10 million, I guess.
Okay, 10 million. How many filters can you create on these 10 million?
A lot,
right?
A lot.
So one community for millionaires and above, one community for student traders, one community for women investors, one community for retired investors, one community for stock traders, crypto traders. You just created 10 filters. And every of these community, right? It's like there's some courses, some education, some events. But now those 10 products, the success of them is I pay every month to be part of this community. Not I buy a course and goodbye. And then every month there is something happening where the members meet each other. So you don't provide education. It's the members themselves that provide education.
I understand.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So every week we learn from another member in the community. If you pay to be part of this community, you have to contribute. Just right now, you and I built a business. 10 different filters for 10 different groups, and each one is $10 a month to be part of.
Okay. I like that, because even people can like make jumps from one community to another when they achieve their goals.
Yes.
For example, if you're a new investor, you can start here. If you're an advanced investor, you can start here.
Exactly.
If you invest more than $1 million, you can start here.
Exactly.
And you can make your advancements on the stairs, and the people are key, because, and maybe you can even make like some community, like for example, expansions, like the $1 million community is gonna teach for a day, the 500,000 community for here, and
they can all teach each other.
And
usually build it. That's really cool.
But I mean, that's super interesting, because I do want to make something like that, but I've been like thinking in my mind a lot about how you can make it for value, because in info products or courses, I do believe it's kind of a problem in some areas that return of investment seems way too long. Like, for example, even in education, formal education, return of investment is way too long if it arrives. Sometimes.
Universities are a scam. They promise you'll make back the money, but it takes you 10 years to make that money back.
Yeah, sure. And how do you? I didn't try to make like info products because I don't believe a lot in the how the people can return their investments.
I agree, because these info products cost $1,000 each.
Yeah.
If you're making something that is $20 a month, I mean, it's either $20 a month to make 10 friends or $20 to buy a pizza. I mean, of course there's value here.
Yeah, sure. And how do you suggest like people interact in those communities to really get value? Like, for example, it's enough like a Zoom call, if you have to meet in person.
Yeah, Zoom call. Online and offline. The best community businesses is online and offline. So we meet online once a week and we meet offline once a month.
And what do you do in that meetings? Like, for example, if it's an investment community, share investment like...
Yeah. Every person is expected to contribute.
Okay.
So this week it's your turn. Next week it's your turn. So we choose members and we say, okay, share everything. We have a discussion. I'm not learning from you. And maybe sometimes you bring a guest speaker, but the idea is that we learn from each other. For example, in my company, every week, one person has to share to the wider company about themselves, right? So I don't create the content. My company creates the content about my company.
Okay, I know. And this is becoming a creator more for a bigger purpose, not just like for creating content. Because you can make communities and change the world via that.
Yeah. It's not just about content creator communities. You can make a community for, I mean, anything in the world. Men who are shorter than 150 centimeters.
Sure.
Let's gather.
Yeah. And you can change experience or even advice on something, you know?
Yeah.
That's the value in that. And for example, how did you came up with this idea of Nas.io?
Because I wanted to build a business. It was so hard to build a business. You have to sign up to 10 different pieces of software. Creating ads, good luck. You need to hire an agency for it. Everybody's doing courses, but courses suck. I wanted to create digital products and sell them and have a community of customers in the same place, and nobody built it. So I said, screw it. I'm going to build it myself. And that is how we came up with Nas.io. And now hundreds of thousands of people are using it.
Actually, in Mexico, a lot of people is using it right now.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it a lot.
Are you really?
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of creators, like people like, well, the link says like, I don't know,
Nas.
start today, Nas.io. And it's kind of good. That's why I'm very curious. I mean, how do you enter here in Mexico? Because, I mean, you're not from here. How do you start? I mean, it's pretty nice because I believe there's a lot of lessons in your story, because your story talks more than just saying like, oh, do this, do that. It's like, I do this and people can learn from that.
So my advice to people is, when you build an internet business, you can work from any country in the world. This is why building an internet business is so cool, because you can look at the world map and say, where do I want to build a business? Let me try to build a business in Japan. Or let me do it in Mexico. It is actually possible to do it because everybody has internet. So the way we did it is, when we built Nas.io, we just made it available in Spanish.
Okay.
And when you make it available in Spanish, automatically people in Mexico can understand it. So it started to grow more in Mexico, and big creators like Martha de Bail started to use it. And then it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And now Nas.io also works in Japan. What I love about internet businesses is that everybody in the world can be your customer.
Sure.
So for you use Spanish, right? So you're limited to Spanish countries, but you should for sure build a community for Hispanic Americans.
Sure.
Why
There's
not?
a lot of people that listens to me.
Or Hispanics in Texas. That's another community. Texas Hispanic traders.
Yeah, because you have like, for example, the people who can meet up like in the same state.
Or Dallas Hispanics. That's another community.
Nice. And what do you suggest for people like to want to start in this world? Maybe not in the creator economy, but maybe to create a business. I do believe like people have a crisis of purpose of today, because they don't really, I see a lot in people my age and younger, like they are starting to understand that maybe in their work they're gonna find like the purpose of their lives, and they want to build something bigger, maybe not just for the profit, but more like for giving purpose in my life. And for example, I was telling you my story. I started the same way because I was in a bank. Bank jobs are very boring. I mean, you have a lot of work, but it's kind of boring sometimes. And I started to realize that I don't like the place I am today. So what can I do? What can I do different? And I saw content creation. But I do believe people see business or a lot of stuff to give purpose in their lives. So what do you will suggest for people who want to create?
That's such a good question. 90% of the world hates their life because they are doing things, they're making money from 9 to 5 p.m. doing things they hate. 10% of the world loves their life because they're making money from things they love. It really, really is that simple. When you make a living from what you love, you're happy. When you make a living from what you hate or what you think is boring, you're sad. I cannot simplify the world more than this. This is as simple as it gets. We need 90% of the world to start to make a living from what they love. For example, if you love to dance, you should not be working at McDonald's. If you love to dance, you should be finding a way to make money from teaching dancing, from joining dancing competitions. You gotta make money from dancing, not from working at McDonald's. That's what live from what you love means. And actually, that is the tagline of Nas.io. The whole point of our company existing is to help you live from what you love. That is how you reach true happiness.
Sure, I totally agree with that. But some people feel like that's impossible because the system make them.
Oh, why do you think that's impossible? You do it, I do it, many people do it, millions of people do it. It was impossible if this was the 1950s. But it's not impossible when there's the fucking internet.
Yeah, sure.
You know, sorry for cursing, but it's just like, it's just, yeah, I mean.
You have known a lot of successful guys on Nas.io and even in other places. How do you believe they can start? I mean, people want to start to live from their passion, but they don't know like if they have to leave their job right now or how do I start? For example, I see a lot of people like love fitness, for example, and love fitness like running or being in shape and all this stuff, but they have a work and they do this as a hobby and create content as a hobby, and they start to get some traction of that. But how do people should start? Do you recommend how do people start?
So that's a very good question. This is why I like the concept of a 1-minute business. Like with Nas.io, it should take 1 minute to build a business.
Okay.
Because this should not be a full-time thing yet. My advice to everybody is this: stay at your job. Do not leave your job. You need that monthly income for rent, okay, and for kids and everything. But on the weekend, build an internet business and tinker with it, okay? Create a product, market it, sell it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, do another one. Create hundreds of products, and then the minute you make 50% of your salary, quit your job. Simple as that.
50%.
50%, that's my number. So if you're making $4,000 a month, if you make $2,000 a month from your side income, your 1-minute business, then reliably every month, make this your full time. And then make this $2,000, $20,000. So jump when the next thing is 50% of your existing salary. That's it.
And do you believe everyone can start an internet business?
Everybody can make a living from what they love. If not today, next year. And if not next year, in the next 5 years. But definitely, humanity will move towards that future.
How do you see the future on that? Like, for example, when people working, do you believe AI will take control of all companies?
Yes. AI and robotics will do everything that we humans don't want to do. Do you think any human wants to do like, I don't know, like... riding horses to transport people? No, we don't want to do that. We got the cars for that. And now, do you think any human really wants to drive a car 15 hours a day? They say they may want to, but I don't think that's what no one's dream when they're a child is, I want to become a taxi driver. No one dreams of this when they're a child, right? So, but for some reason we do it for 15 hours a day, right? So I think eventually robots will take over driving. Robots will take over cleaning, will take over food making. They will take over like cleaning the houses and construction, and we will do things we love. That's it.
People are so afraid of AI because they believe they're gonna take jobs, and a lot of people say like they're gonna take jobs, but they're gonna open new opportunities. But also they will be able like for people to make what they like, because I mean they will have no other option. So how do you think this will like evolve in the current years? Like for example, I do believe information will be, for example, we got a conclusion like information is gonna be a commodity. Like for example, knowledge is gonna be a commodity because it's on the internet, AI and all the stuff. Communities are gonna thrive.
Yes.
But for example, in the daily work of people, how do you believe everything is gonna go up?
I mean, you know, when Uber started, all the taxi drivers were scared of losing their jobs. But what happened? They didn't lose their jobs. We still have taxis, but we have Uber. So I think there's two oceans in the world. There's a red ocean and there's a blue ocean, right? You know what those are?
Yeah.
Right? A red ocean is where like I have to kill you in order to get this resource because there's only this little resource. Either I get it or you get it. A blue ocean is, hey, this resource can double and you can have half, I can have half. A blue ocean means we can make it's an abundance mentality. So I think with technology and AI, we're not going to like stop consuming. We're going to start consuming more. So I don't think people are going to lose their job.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be an amazing blue ocean. I'm just very optimistic about where the future is heading.
Yeah, and actually I do believe like we have to learn all the new AI systems because they're going to be able to make new opportunities for us. I mean, for example, I got this problem on YouTube like with thumbnail designers. You know, a lot of people like you have to hire thumbnail designers and they're good and they do good job. But now AI is threatening the thumbnail designers because they can design faster.
Yes.
And I don't believe like thumbnail designers will disappear. Maybe you will have now one thumbnail manager because you still need the creative issue. It's not like you can say, make me the best thumbnail in the world. You have to hire someone who has expertise, maybe masterminds with other people on the area and use the AI to facilitate this job. But they will still do the same job.
We will have more thumbnail designers, not less.
Yeah, and you can actually make more thumbnails.
Exactly. Because right now, how many YouTube channels have thumbnail designers? 5%?
Yeah.
The remaining 95% do not have a thumbnail designer. I didn't. Right? So now we'll have more people using thumbnail designers, not less. Another thing about AI is, I learned this from somebody else, is AI is going to help us do things that were impossible before. Can you build a city under the ocean?
Of course not.
Right now we cannot. But maybe with AI we can. Now, if we end up building a city under the ocean with AI, we need to create jobs for that city. So that's new jobs because of AI, not less.
Sure. And I do believe it's new opportunities, but you got to be ready because if you're not taking the opportunities, you may be left behind.
Yeah.
And for example, I got a lot of questions because this is a nice conversation, but in your personal life, Nas,
I hope people find it interesting.
Yeah, I find it interesting. And I always use myself as a metric because I do believe like the people who listens to me, like for real, are people who is like me, but in other stages of their life. For example, me, almost 5 years ago when I was like deciding what to do with my life, for example.
That's cool.
And I want to know more about you. For example, how do you find balance? I mean, do you believe in balance? Because this is a kind of tricky concept because a lot of people say like, oh, you have to balance work with life. I don't think like kind of the same because I do believe like balance who think like that is because they don't like work and they say, so I need to balance with something good because bad and good. But if you like what you do, I believe like my balance, it's with my job because without my job, I won't be on balance, you know?
Exactly. What you just said is very controversial, but it's also very true. It's the fact. You're right. Balance is when you want to balance the good and the bad. But when you don't think your job is bad, you don't need balance. So I don't believe in work-life balance. believe in, I don't believe that your work and your life should be separate.
Yeah.
I believe that your work and your life should be like this, like intertwined, harmony, integration, whatever you call it. Because anybody that's separating the two, I mean, I don't want to say it, but I think there's a high chance that they don't enjoy their work.
Sure, because actually, job is part also of your identity as a person, you know?
Yes.
I identify, like, for example, a son, a good person, a boyfriend, whatever, but also as a creator, an entrepreneur, and it's part of my whole identity. And it adds to the value I believe I'm worth it.
Completely. This is why I'm always surprised when people get offended when I ask them, what do you do? Because some people get offended if you ask them that question. I was like, why are you offended? What you do in the best hours of your day should define who you are. And if you don't think it defines who you are, then you're doing the wrong thing. It's a you problem, not a me problem. Because the best hours of your day are from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's when you're most productive, most amazing.
Not tired.
Not tired, everything, right? And if you are an accountant and I ask you, what do you do? You're like, I'm more than an accountant. Okay, but like, what's wrong with being an accountant? It means you just don't love your job itself. So when people ask me, what do? I say, I'm a video maker. That's all I am. I love it.
Yeah, sure. And your job should empower you, not like make you feel bad.
Yeah, I make videos.
And actually about making money on the internet, I believe I read a book called The Almanac of Naval Ravikant.
You watched that video?
Yeah.
The book. Sorry.
Yeah, and the book is super good, and it talks about 4 powers of leverage. And it was like internet or media. Like, for example, you say your video once, and a lot of people, million people can get into it. And for example, money, of course, like investing at the 10% rate. If you invest $100, $10, but you invest $1 million in $100.
Yeah, that's true.
It's more. People or team, like if you want to go alone, like you say your phrase, but I mean, if you have a team, you can accomplish more things. And the last one is technology, because with technology, with AI, you can accomplish way more things than being alone.
I like that.
And I believe those concepts are very related to what you tell about 1 minute video making about creating business, because you cannot make 1 minute business alone. You need something else. Or do you believe like technology, community?
So those 4 leverage, right? One of them is team.
Yeah.
The other is money. The other is media. And the other is technology.
Sure.
So I think technology, it's either or with a team. So you can have 100 customer support agents, or you can have 1 AI customer support agent.
Okay.
So actually these can replace each other. So I do believe that 1 minute businesses can have 1 person companies. In the future, we are going to see 1 person companies.
Yeah. Actually, I was seeing, I guess in Bloomberg, an article when people saying like, Midjourney has $2 million profit and only has 10 teams employed.
It's crazy. I think that the team size is going to go down and down and down just because technology and media are 2 big leverages. Like right now, I don't need a sales team of 100 people. I just make a video on social media.
Sure.
Right? So I don't need the team leverage. So whoever thinks if I want to build a business, I need a big team, that's not true.
Yeah. You're seeing on the wrong angle. Right.
So by the way, I see the data myself. So we help thousands of people build 1 minute businesses on Nas.io, and all of them, the average number of employees is 0.5.
Wow.
You know?
Crazy. That
yes,
makes
it means
a
a lot of 1 person companies and then a lot of like 2 person companies or whatever.
So do you believe everybody is going to be an entrepreneur in the future? Like, for example, has their own business? Maybe not like a Walmart by itself, but maybe something like...
I believe that. And maybe it's not their full-time thing, but I believe there's 2 things I believe. I believe everybody in the world will have a social media because everybody's social. And I believe everybody in the world will have a business of their own that makes income on the side.
And how do you believe people could adapt or learn about maybe the creator economy or AI? Because a lot of people feel like, well, I don't believe like young people feel afraid because, I mean, they are on their side. But most older people, they want to believe like, I don't want to get like left behind because they see a lot of change, Bitcoin, AI, social media, and it's came like super fast everything, because these 20 years had been super fast. How can they learn? How can they not left behind in all this revolution?
It's a hard question. I mean, they should just follow people like you, you know? Yeah, I think there's this, I think probably the biggest mistake we did as a society is say, you learn from age 5 to 20, and then you do, right? There's learning, and then there's doing. You go to college for 4 years to learn, then you start doing after college. I really think those 15 years of learning should be mixed with doing, which means I think after the age of 13, people should start work. You should start working and learning on the side, right? But like, you should have a job. I'm going to get canceled for this. But we should have 13-year-olds working as a job, which means when you're 60 years old, you're also learning and you're also working, right? Because learning never stops. But yeah.
But I don't think it's like so controversial, because here in Mexico, a lot of people start working young, and they don't really, I mean, I started working like 14, maybe not like super hard jobs, but I want to understand how this is work. You know, like if, for example, in Mexico, we got this, I don't know if the USA or everywhere else had it, but I don't know how to say, it's paqueteritos. People like you're in the supermarket and they put bags on you.
Bags, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really cool service.
And actually,
you did that?
Yeah. I did that when I was
funny.
like around 14 or 13. I was a kid, and that's a good way to see how money works and all the stuff, because you can learn about it watching videos or reading, but you will never understand it until you see, wow, if I treat people more good, I will receive maybe more money and all that stuff. And you're still learning some lessons that accompany you for a lot of time.
But on the flip side, now that you've graduated college, when was the last time you learned a new skill?
Yeah.
Or something you were not interested in that you became interested in.
Yeah. And I do believe like people have this problem that they want like a title that says, you are a specialist on this, you know? For example, you have the ability to code, for example. And a lot of editors, I hate that too, because maybe in some professions it's necessary, like being a doctor or something like that. But for example, here in my team, a lot of people that work with me doesn't study anything related to what they do today with us.
The main reason I apply to universities in the United States is because in my country, they asked me at age 17, they said, what are you going to be? Doctor, lawyer, engineer. It's like, wait, I don't know. I want to see everything. I don't know what I want to be. So this whole idea of forcing you to become something is a mistake.
Sure. This reminds me of the quote of John Lennon. Have you ever heard that they asked me what I want to do when I will grow up, and I told them I want to be happy. And they told me I didn't understand the question, and I told them like, you didn't understand the question too, because it was like different perspectives of seeing they want to be happy, not a doctor or something else. Like your work should be something like help you to achieve happiness or make you a purpose person. That's so
interesting. I like that. What do you want to be?
Happy, and then you should build over that. That's what cool. Makes you happy.
That's really cool.
Nas, just about to finish this podcast. Tell me about 3 questions more. How do you find success, and what makes you feel fulfilled today?
I think it's a scam. I think this whole idea of fulfillment is a scam. I think one thing I've learned is that you start life chasing a rainbow, and then you die chasing the rainbow. And every minute you're alive, you're chasing a rainbow. You know, when I was 15, my rainbow was college. When I was college, my rainbow was graduation. When I was graduated, my rainbow was starting a company. When I was starting a company, my rainbow was 1 million followers. Then it became a company. Then I was Nas. There's always a rainbow. So fulfillment, it's unfortunate, but I don't believe that there's a moment where you are going to sit and say, I am done, I am fulfilled. Because fulfilled has the word full in it, Full. you're never full. No human is ever full, specifically the entrepreneurs. So that word specifically, I don't think I have ever had it.
Nice. It's a nice perspective. If you had to start from scratch, what would you do differently?
Well, that's another thing as well, which is like, if you like where you're at in life, you wouldn't do anything differently because it would change your present. So I wouldn't do anything differently because I like my present.
But any lesson that you think you should have make different, like, for example, of course, I do believe in the same way you think, because everything makes the process and makes the final result. But maybe, for example, one day I was like having a brand deal and someone stole from me, and I was like, okay, maybe I should
Stole from you?
Yeah. I mean, the money was never delivered.
From the brand.
Yeah. Was not for the brand, but from the manager that was like on the middle.
No way.
Yeah, and I was
Do you
like,
have a manager?
on that time I have a different manager. Now I do have a manager.
Do you like having a manager?
Yeah, actually I do, because it makes me, I do believe, like, more free on the commercial side and more able to create something on the content.
Oh, interesting.
Because
But what if one day you want to be the one doing the commercial side?
I can do it, but the problem is, like, I was doing that before, and the problem I see is, like, I was making business decision and content decisions, and then if I want to make something like a community or something, I had to make community decisions, and I don't know if I can handle all of this at the same time, everything in the most powerful way, you know? Like,
that's very
give
interesting.
100% in the all three. I don't believe it for me was possible, because I was like, or I'm full in content, or I'm full in the community, or I'm full in the commercial side, because the day has 24 hours. But I do believe, for example, waking back to the question, I was like, okay, I should hire a lawyer, because I was so trustable with people. I do believe I trust you because you want to help me. That's an example of an idea. Like, say, well, I could do that way better in the past, but I don't regret it.
That's interesting. That's fair.
And finally, what's next for you? I mean, any projects? I want to hear that.
My next for me is 100,000 businesses. I want to help people create 100,000 1-minute businesses, all around the world. We have thousands of them in Mexico, some in the United States, some in Asia, but I want to get to 100,000 businesses.
In how many time?
Like 2 years.
Nice.
Yeah. For me, if I achieve that, I'm not fulfilled, but that's like the first chapter is over, then, okay, let's do the next chapter.
Yeah, you're going to do something else, because entrepreneurs, as you say, never fulfilled.
Never fulfilled. Yeah. Thank you, Andres. Thank you so much for having me. This was really fun.
Thank you.
And I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for watching. See you in the next episode. Bye.